will dunk and enjoy. On Mother's Day, they did a huge, wonderful campaign. The Tide, the very famous clothing detergent, and the donuts. And the one charm about the trend checking is then that the brands starting talking each other. There's a huge example on LinkedIn these days as well, when the brands are actually communicating with each other from their official handles and participating. So the AI shows their post on the first whenever someone logs into that platform. This is the science behind it. Kareem is the master of this trend checking science in Pakistan. They have done a great, humorous, and fabulous job. And one of these Karsas ki Churel, Toastmaster Noreen might not be aware of it. In Karachi, there is a very famous place, Karsas. And there is a myth, I would say myth about it, that some bride died away in a road accident there. So people see a churel at night, they are wearing the bridal dress, and likewise so the brands, the competitors, McDonald's and KFC do it. The InDrive and the Kareem do it. And also, if some brand is leading the Pakistan, which is very unfortunate, that in past couple of years, many legendary brands have left our country. So the other brands who step in, or the competitors also pay the tribute. Food Panda, we all know this, the biggest recent trend jacking guru. Whenever it's a cricket, whenever there is something else, they step in. And every other brand, almost cricket, in PSL or in any other cricket tournament. So we all have seen these visuals, but what is the science behind it? So the science behind it is always like that. I'll share again. So the science behind is always is like that. That whenever there is the talk of the town, you, being the brand custodian, steps into the spotlight, create a visual which has absolutely nothing to do with your brand dynamics, but you become a part of it, and people starting talking about your brand, including the talk of the town already. So this is the organic, not unpaid, and the most beautiful way of being the talk of the town without investing dollars on YouTube and likewise. I'll again share the screen, and I will show one case study of 7 Up quickly with you guys. So let's see how the famous Pakistani brand 7 Up has
Toastmaster,
leveraged. Yeah,
Toastmaster, Tahseen, I hope you're not delivering the speech.
no, it's just like two slides.
Okay, 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 okay.
So, so 7 Up trend jacking actually worked on TikTok, where it grabbed the speed and participation of the algorithm. So they talk about the food trends. They initiated the food trends. They initiated the memes. They took the leverage of Gen Z. And what was the result? The content feels like entertainment, not the advertisement. Similarly, on the YouTube, they leverage with the search and story and the cinematic shots. If there is, oh, okay, if there's a cricket moment and wicket is about to go and everyone is holding their breath, oh, suddenly the 7 Up ad will appear. Oh, the sensation is on. Why not grab a sip? So this is actually how the brands leverage. And the key difference between there is also a very major difference between the platforms. The entire science of trend checking on each platform is different, but the aim is same: borrow attention and earn money. So this was about the trend checking, which I wanted to share with you guys as a marketer. And now, meanwhile, we have a good amount of audiences. Well, welcome, Silva and Najam Rizvi, to our Toastmaster meeting. So, let me introduce the role players of today. We have some missing role players as well, and I hope we will fill it. Myself, Fessim Fatma, is the TMOD, the chatterbox. Toastmaster Noreen is the word master, and the grammarian. Toastmaster Noreen, would you please introduce the word of the day to our audience?
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster of the evening. So, fellow Toastmasters, today the word of the day is bandwagon. It's a noun. Its meaning is a trend that many people join, often just because it become popular. So we can, I also want to share its example of using in a sentence that many people jump in on the bandwagon without understanding the trend. So I urge all of you to use this word as much as you can to make this word viral. Over to you, Miss Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much. And our timer is AI, the unpaid and the very official member of the community who always still stays with us. Now, the other roles.
We just have the two rules in Quantum League Toastmasters meeting.
Yeah, so the grammarian is Toastmaster Noreen, and the general evaluation will be done by our VPE Toastmaster Imran Rana. So, with this, Mr. VPE, I'm sure you are the acting president of today as well. Would you like to take the speech, to take the stage and throw some light on it?
Sorry, come again.
I'm sure you are the acting president of the day as well. Would you like to take the stage and introduce the club, or shall we move ahead?
Since you are the Toastmaster of the day, right? So you have to take the program and introduce first the keynote speaker, then
Yeah.
we'll move on to the prepared speech session.
So I was about to give you the stage for the presidential address. Yes, Mr. TVH.
Yeah, I think Toastmaster Imran, you should give the presidential address and also welcome the guests, maybe.
Okay, just need to ask Leon. Leon, if I'm pronouncing your name correct, right?
Yes, 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 you
Okay.
are.
Is it convenient for you to turn on the video? If you could introduce yourself.
So I'm basically from Toastmasters District 92, Division A, so which is falls under Bangalore, India. So I've seen your post in one of the WhatsApp groups, so I thought of joining and learning because I was free during this time. That's about it.
Okay, that's great. You are most welcome to join our Quantum Leap meeting. It's the day timings are same, and we meet fortnightly. So Toastmaster Najam this week, could we have your brief introduction, please?
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran Rana. I think some of you may be familiar with me. I'm an ex-Karachi Toastmaster and ex-Karachi Toastmaster member. Currently, I'm not attending meetings regularly, but it's nice to be here after a long time. And I'm looking forward to especially the DTM Talabin Hamid's keynote speech. Thank you.
So we would love to have you for the whole session because we might assign you some roles as well. Thank you
That's a,
so much. Yes, yes, please.
I think that's the catch when you attend a meeting, you end up doing something else also.
So thank you so much, Toastmaster Najam. So fellow Toastmasters and guests, as we Quantum Leap Toastmaster Advanced Toastmaster Club is aimed at rekindling the curiosity into advanced physics, science, fiction, fantasy, environment, spirituality, and human health and well-being. It is a club by geeks for geeks with a mission to make this world a better place through science and communication. So good to have you both, Leon and Toastmaster Nathan Disney. So, uh, Toastmaster of the day, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, acting president and VP. Toastmaster Najam Rizvi, Thank you for joining us. Would you like to take the role of table topics master today?
Actually, I'm not prepared for topics because I'm not familiar with the theme of the day today. If you can tell me the theme, maybe I can come up with topics.
So the theme of the day is trend checking, where the brands step into the advertising. For example, it's a cricket season, so everyone starts talking about the cricket. It's Food Panda, it's Kareem or any other brand. But despite of this theme, you can come up with any of the table topic, uh, um, like speeches
Okay,
topic.
fine. I'll take it.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for being with us. So let's officially start, and we cannot hold this meeting. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't have to be like that. Okay, so now let's welcome TBH, Tala bin Hamid, the DTM table head, the force behind this club, and we cannot wait for a second for the keynote speech of the day. So TBH, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Before starting, I have two requests. Donning the cap of the VP PR of this club, I will request any one of you, maybe Tessie or Noreen, anyone who is on the events group, please share the club's meeting advertisement and the happening now photo onto that. Usually we have quite a few guests from the district, but with the extreme pleasure and a sense of pride, I left the events group about 2 weeks back. So I've lost the ability to post in it, and that is why I'll ask Tessie. And that brings in quite a few guests. And the second request was, second request was to Toastmaster Imran if he could be the timer for. Okay, or I can put the timing myself. I can put the timing on myself, no worries.
I can do
So,
that.
okay, fine. Then please be the timer for this keynote, because the timer for Quantum Leap is not actually AI, it's just HI, human intelligence, which is mine. Aaron found a way to label it fancily because I play a timing video in the background, and that's what makes it kind of automated, but not fully automated. So, okay. So, Toastmaster everyone, just give me the green signal. When could I start? Okay. So, everyone, today the theme of my keynote is very simple, something very familiar. I will not be presenting fancy facts, figures, or graphs because it is something that we all are experiencing, and it is water bankruptcy. The most worrying thing about this term is that this term was only coined in January 2026. Before that, it was water stress or water scarcity. And that should get us worried. But there is a silver lining, if there could be called a silver lining, which is that Pakistan alone is not facing water bankruptcy. It is the entire world that is facing water bankruptcy. What does water bankruptcy look like? This is an actual photo from our Hajj journey in 2016 or 17 or 18, 7, 8 years ago. And you can see our family in here. They are actually here. They're right here. But this is Muzdalfa, immediately after Arafat. And we were facing a severe water shortage because none of us were carrying water bottles. The weather was hot and muggy. We all had run out of water. We didn't have drinking water. Yes, you can see the washrooms here, but nobody wants to drink from washrooms, do they? So, and they were far away. So, that was a weird thing actually, because here we were in a place which is known for having all the resources in the world. And those of us who've been fortunate enough to have gone on Hajj and Umrah, they know that um, all the Hajis and the pilgrims are well provided for. But when millions of people are moving at one point, at one time, situations like this come to pass. So there was a few hours, in fact, not even 1 hour, 45 minutes, but we were out of water, and so was everyone else. And you could see the posture of everyone, you could see the faces of everyone. No drinking water until a few kind souls came in, they started distributing water bottles. So that got me thinking that we cannot be without clean drinking water for even a few hours. Even if I don't drink water for many hours, I'm safe in the knowledge that I can have it whenever I want. Imagine not having that knowledge. And that is why, just give me a second. Yeah, that is why we explore how did we get water in the first place. Have you ever wondered about that? I am about to tell you something that will change your life, guaranteed, if you didn't know it already. There is no natural process on earth that is creating new water all the time. None. The water that we have is the water that we have. There is no new water coming from anywhere else. Think about it for a second. When we on this planet were 100 million people, we had the same amount of water. Now that we are more than 8 billion, we have the same amount of water. There are two different theories about how water came to Earth. The first theory is this one actually, and that has been popular for a couple of decades now. The asteroids in the formation stages of Earth brought water with them. Water did not generate or it got created on Earth. So tons and tons of water came for millions and billions of years because Earth was bombarded by asteroids for billions of years. And all the minerals, all the different materials, including maybe life and water, came through that medium. There's a new theory now which actually professes, and it resulted from research at Oxford, and I believe the paper was published in 2025, where it says that no, water actually was created on Earth. While the Earth was in its early formation stages, it cooled down, and in the process of cooling down, different elements and compounds were formed, including water. Fine, let's accept that for a moment. What does that mean? In order to get more water, we either need to face tons and tons of asteroids hitting the Earth, or we need to get Earth heated up to millions of degrees and then cool it again so that water can be formed. There is no way around this. We are screwed either way. However water was formed, there's no new water coming from anywhere. And that brings me to this. From 1400 years ago, a tradition of the Holy Prophet. Can you imagine the infinite wisdom of this saying? Because remember, 1400 years ago, there was no concept of water scarcity. Yes, Arab was a desert, but it had rivers. The world had rivers, right? And that is why one of the companions of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, asked him, is there a possibility where we can be extravagant or wasteful in the usage of water? And the Prophet said, yes, even if you were on the banks of a flowing river, you should conserve water while performing ablution. Imagine that. Have you ever thought of conserving water while on the banks of a river or while at the seaside? No, you have infinite water before you. And yet, we were instructed back then to not be wasteful with water. And there lies a very interesting debate, which I routinely have with my friend. He says that it is preferable to make a new ablution with every prayer because it is preferred as per our religious teachings. To clean yourself again and again for every prayer is preferable. But I asked him, then what about this? This is also something that's coming from the Holy Prophet directly. And for years we argued, literally, for years. He went to make ablution every time, and I tried to conserve my ablution. Yes, not out of a desire to save water, more out of laziness, but indeed, I actually also said that it is helping conserving water, and yes, that was also the intent. So we went to a learned person, a mufti, and he solved the problem just like that. He said, you tell me, while you were in Makkah and Medina on Umrah or Hajj, it was possible for you to make ablution with one glass of water. And I said, yes, because people were conserving water back there. There was no running water in many places, so they had these small bottles of drinkable water and they were using them to make ablution. And it was perfectly possible to do that. So the Mufti said that, why don't you implement that? Why don't you make ablution with that tiny amount of water and also follow the tradition where it says that it is preferable to refresh your wuzu for every prayer? That, ladies and gentlemen, was a life-changing moment because it was like witnessing a miracle right before your eyes. Imagine that. Two divergent problems. One says that refreshing your wuzu results in wastage of water. The other says it is preferable to refresh your wuzu for every prayer. Can there be a bridge between the two? It appeared right before our eyes. We'll get to this later. This is from a recent newspaper article. The term was formally introduced in early 2026 UN reports. This is not a temporary crisis. Pakistan is losing its natural capital. Yes, Toastmaster Imran, you're saying something?
No, I've raised my hand so that you can see the timer.
Okay. So, we are liquidating all our permanent natural assets, not only water, but fossil fuels, wetlands. We are, the accountants in the audience would know, we are consuming our capital to finance our expenses. Our water table is dropping, water availability is reducing, and over 80% of our population is facing water scarcity, at least temporarily, 1 month annually. 80%. And that means people in this audience who are hailing from Pakistan, statistically, most of us are facing water scarcity, and aren't we, by the way? In Karachi, at least, we no longer have free flowing tap water. It simply does not exist. We have to rely on tankers. Yes, there is tap water supply, but it's not reaching the entire population. What is our demand versus supply? And remember, there is no supply. It's just the recycled water that is coming back. So water availability dropped, right? And Pakistan became the 14th most water stressed country globally. 93% of our water is used in agriculture, and 60% of that is lost in the system. So it's not being refreshed. Surface water is insufficient sometimes. And if you're wondering where does the flood water go, it goes either into the sea where it becomes undrinkable, or it sinks beneath the ground where it becomes unrecoverable. And this is actually a pictorial representation. Groundwater is depleting, population is rising, our land masses and our aquifers are being damaged beyond repair, and that is resulting in food shortage as well, because our agriculture is stressed and 30 to 40% agricultural water is wasted, and that is in addition to the glacier melt. And yes, this is a horrible AI generated drawing, but the facts behind this drawing were actually sourced from a study. So you get the idea, right? If I were to summarize the situation, we are between a rock and a hard and dry place, especially Pakistan due to its unique geographical location and makeup. And despite the fact, ironically, hear this out, everyone. After the poles, Pakistan has the most amount of ice after the North Pole and the South Pole. Thanks to our glaciers, thanks to the fact that three major mountain ranges of the world converge in Pakistan. But still, we are stressed for water. So what is the answer? First of all, there are a lot of initiatives that are being taken. One of them, it's called Recharge Pakistan, a WWF project. But most importantly, if we stop using running water for washing, we have a hope of at least lessening the intensity of water bankruptcy. Yes, what I am proposing is very radical, but at the same time, you recognize the wisdom. We are spoiled. We are showering all the time. What's wrong with a bucket? We are washing our utensils in running water. What's wrong with gathering it in a tumbler and then using that water? Believe me, it makes a world of difference. Once you start using a bucket, you will discover that even 1/3 of a bucket is enough for you to take a bath. So stop using water like a luxury and start using it like a depleting resource. Over to you, Toastmaster.
So shall I start the Q&A session time?
Yes, yes.
Is our Toastmaster of the day? Yes, Toastmaster. You can ask the audience if anyone has questions.
Anyone, if you have a question or comment, please go ahead and share.
I can't I can't raise my hand. Sorry. Tala, this is Cynthia Stott.
No worries, Cynthia. It's a privilege to have you. Please go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Um, wow. That was amazing and so true. And it's so awakened my my thoughts. I live in California. California, I lived through the terrible drought in the
Yeah.
70s. And we're always needing water. But I
Yes.
found out that about 30 states out of 50 states are in drought this year. So it's a trouble all over the world, and
Yes.
especially you have Los Angeles area, Southern California, really um, is a very arid place. There's lots of deserts, and there's lots of people using lots of water for golfing and for swimming, and water really is our luxury. And I was attendee at the Wealthy Visionary conference back in the early 2000s, and I can't remember his name, but his last name was Diamond, and he was converting ocean water into fresh water to use. But even with your keynote, ocean water is also limited. You know, there's no rain does not come from nowhere. It's precipitation from our earth. We're a closed
Exactly.
system, and I never thought of that before. And I was like, well, you could just seed the clouds. Well, you need to seed the clouds with something. And it's a closed system that we're on. So that's amazing. Amazing. And thank you. I did not know that Pakistan had glaciers. What are the three mountain ranges that come together?
They are the Himalayas, the Hindu Kush, and the Karakoram.
Wow. Wow. And yeah, it's wow. I Is there any global thing that you're working on or know of that's some scientific thing that could help this global problem?
Not to my knowledge. I think every country is struggling with this, and they're trying to come up with their own solution. But I think one consensus is that we all are collectively quite wasteful with our water, and we need to change the way we live in order to address that.
Absolutely. And I'm going to address that myself because I'm very wasteful. I know. And I try,
All of us are.
but
All of us are.
yeah, but I grew up in drought, and laziness with old habits and luxury feeling. Yeah. Also, my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, they do a lot of humanitarian works with water, and I know they've been active in Sri Lanka and in Africa and all over. I'm not sure if they do anything in Pakistan. They do a lot of humanitarian work that's not related to proselyting. They have agreements not to proselyte because they really take for serious that we are to love God and we are to love each other. That's so important, and we're not one country. We're really we're 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 all on one planet with one race, the human race.
Exactly. Right. That's beautiful.
Okay, so we have raised hand from Toastmaster Noreen Fatma.
Yes.
Thank you so much, GTM Talha, for sharing such a very, I must say, it's a timely topic that we really need to talk about. We used to talk about water conservation earlier, but now I think with the water bankruptcy, I hope we'll start thinking about it more wisely And I really enjoyed you gave us the perspective from the religion as well as, and we all know that for ablution it is advisable. You can use it with minimum amount of water. You should not wait that will come plenty amount of water, then we can do the ablution. And also we need to think about it, although government is working, and you also mentioned about the Recharge Pakistan, it is working on the flood management, which is actually based on to conserve the water that comes from floods. So it is related to that. They are working with the government and other development partners, but we need to work on it at individual level. And the example you have mentioned, that need to stop this running water for our daily household activities, that can also save plenty amount of water. And we need to introduce
Exactly.
this bucket water system, especially for our bathing. I think
Yeah.
we waste a lot of water
Yeah.
while using the shower. If we start using the bucket system for our daily household activities, it can save a lot about a large amount of water. Thank you so much. I just wanted to add these points.
I think Najam Saab has a question. Sir, please go ahead.
Thank you, TTM Tala. What I wanted to say and what I want to ask you is that you just mentioned as in the presentation that most of the water is used by the agriculture center and a lot of the wastage occurs in the agriculture sector.
Yeah.
Now, as far as I'm aware, there's no actually fair costing of the water that's used by the agriculture sector. That leads to probably a lot of wastage. And there's also not much being done on what crops should be grown in Pakistan. We know
Right.
that Pakistan is an arid country, and surprisingly, we grow sugarcane, which is a water-intensive tropical crop.
Yes.
So, what should be done about that? These two aspects: costing of water, fair costing, and fair pricing of water,
Right.
and crops management.
So the only answer to that is something that we are struggling to move towards, but so far that's not happening, and that is corporatization of agriculture as well. Like in other developed countries, agriculture takes place under proper corporate entities, and they keep track of the costing of the usage of resources that they're doing, and that in turn compiles the data for the governments to use and to actually regulate the supply of water and to determine. Unfortunately, what's happening here is in Pakistan that we are penduluming between two extremes. Either we have seasonally we have too much water and most of that goes to waste because we don't have the capacity to store that water, and the other half is where we are spending months and months in drought, and that's shockingly similar to what DTM Cynthia said about California, in fact, because yes, that is also something that happens in California. It is a paradoxical situation where it is essentially a desert. It has water reservoirs, but they are seasonally populated before depleted again. So I think, sir, the answer to your question is that we need to bring agriculture under corporate premises, corporate um umbrella, and I believe that is the only answer ultimately, where will have enough data and verifiable data to actually. And yes, Toastmaster Imran, I see the red. Please remove that. I'll just like to finish by showing something, especially for DTM Cynthia and for everyone's knowledge. This is a satellite map of Pakistan. You can see India, right? If you zoom in, this is the entire Himalayan range here.
Your screen, okay, now we can see
Now,
that.
we see.
Yeah, this is the entire Himalayan range. It starts from way east, from China, Nepal, Bhutan, India, and then culminating in Pakistan, right? Uh, these days, especially, everything troublesome ends up in Pakistan. So do the Himalayas. Their western termination point is Himalayas, and DTM Cynthia see the amount of snow that the northern area of Pakistan has. These are all the glaciers. And similarly, this is the Hindu Kush range and the Karakoram range converging. And yes, with that, I bring the session to an end. Please feel free to place your questions in the chat box if you have any further. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, DTM Talha bin Hamid. It was indeed a very insightful and thought-provoking keynote and very well prepared. So congratulations to you on that. As we move forward, I would like to adjust some timings of the meeting because we're already short of some time. So we are moving towards the second segment of today's meeting, which is the prepared speeches, and we have two wonderful speakers today to participate and deliver the speeches. The first speech is by imaginary world champion Toastmaster Tasneem Fatma, and I would request the timer to limit her speech to 8 minutes only, so we can save some time for the next segments. As per the
before that, I just send you a message. I send you a chat that we have a surprise geek of the week.
Oh, yeah.
So let me introduce the geek of the week, and he is Muhammad Hashir Rana, who will talk about his favorite book, Harry Potter. Yes, so those who are fan of Harry Potter, so please.
Welcome to be Toastmaster Hashir, right? The stage is yours.
Hello, my name is Hashir Rana, and I am a fan of Harry Potter. The Harry Potter book series was made by J.K. Rowling. The concept of Harry Potter was made due to a delayed train ride. There are movies made to Harry Potter by Warner Brothers. The books and the movies tell us about Harry's life as a wizard orphan, adopted by a Muggle family. If you don't know the meaning of Muggles, Muggles are ordinary people. In the last part of Harry Potter comes face to face with Voldemort and ends up victorious. I will not tell you all the midways as I do not have enough confidence, and it's, in my eyes, not that important. So goodbye. It's very little speech.
That was wonderful, Hashir. We loved it. Thank you so much. And join the Toastmasters community. You are ready for that. We don't have to wait to grow up. Okay, so the next segment starts, and I would like to invite the first speaker. But who is taking the charge of the first group of evaluation? Mr. VP, who's taking the charge?
Okay, so yes, I'm the lead evaluator of your project. So today, Toastmaster Tehseen Fatma will going to deliver a project that is about managing the difficult audience. Okay, so Tehseen Fatma, just a heads up, since it's an advanced Toastmasters club, right? I haven't arranged the disruptors, so the disruptors will come out automatically and will disturb your speech. So you have to manage those. Okay, the speech duration is actually 10 to 12 minutes. So how much time duration do you need for that?
I believe let's restrict it to 8 minutes because we have other segments to move on.
Okay, great. Okay, so 6 to 8 minute speech, she will going to deliver any speech, and the main purpose is to manage the disruptors. Yes, Tala?
I'm just putting up a simple timer on my window rather than the cards. Okay, so great. That way we can clearly see how much time has passed. Okay.
Okay, that's great. That's great. The topic of his speech is, just a minute, trend jacking, right?
No, it's how to become a billionaire in 5 minutes.
Oh, wow. So everyone, just give your full attention to Toastmaster Tehsina Fatma, as she is going to tell you how to become a billionaire in just 5 minutes. So, okay, we have panel of evaluators with us. So, auditory, I would request DTM Talha, right? For
Okay.
visual parts, I would request Toastmaster Noreen. And for language, I would like to request Toastmaster Najam to give just a 1 minute feedback on about the language used during the speech. Right? Okay. So we have perceptors. So can we request Toastmaster Saad? He is definitely Toastmaster Saad Shamsi, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yes, Toastmaster Saad. Good to have you in the meeting. Could we have you as a perceptor?
Yep. Sure.
Percept.
Oh,
Yeah, okay. So
what do I have to do?
So perceptor is will give a 1 minute feedback. How did the perceptor perceive the speech, right?
Yep. No
As
worries.
as an audience member, how did you perceive the speech? How did it affect you?
Yep. No
Okay,
worries.
so
Can do that.
great. Thank you so much. So let me repeat it once again. DTM Talha is the auditory. Noreen Fatma is the visual, give a feedback on visuals. Perceptible we have, so we have Toastmaster Sashamsi, and for language we have Toastmaster Najim Rizvi. Toastmaster Tehseen Fatma, the stage is yours.
Cool. I just want to add one thing, which is that the pathway is engaging humor. So it will be the humorous speech. Now, timer, you may start the time, please. Ladies and gentlemen, by the end of this speech, at least 3 of you will become billionaires. This is guaranteed. I can already see some doubts, especially from the new, not the new, especially my old faculties. Don't worry. Skepticism is normal when you are this close to success. Jealousy always there. So the first step you have to take right now is mindset. To become a billionaire, you must think like one. So right now, how many of you feel like a billionaire? Who is the next Elon Musk? Okay, that's the problem. You came here thinking you are an audience. I came here knowing I'm an opportunity. Change your mindset. Second, the big idea. What exactly you have to do to become the next Elon Musk? Every billionaire starts with a simple idea. Some sells water, some sells bottles. I proudly belong to Karachi. So the billionaire idea is extra flavored Karachi air. Let's fill the bottles free of cost and start selling that. It will cost you nothing and the profit will be 100%. Don't laugh, don't ignore. This is the future of business. Some of you might be my customers very soon. Now, the next step is execution. This is very important. This is very important, and you have to start doing it right away. Take your phone, put the alarm 4 a.m. strict 4 a.m. If you want to be a billionaire, you have to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning tomorrow. But not to work. Just to post on your LinkedIn 2-3 lines about rise and grind. And then go back to sleep. Branding is everything, my dear. Jump on the bandwagon instead of FOMO. That was billionaires do. So from tomorrow onwards, 4 a.m., strictly wake up, post on LinkedIn, and sleep. You can also use powerful words in your post like scalable, innovation, great ideas, AI powered. And of course, you don't need to explain these words. Everyone will be thinking, oh my God, he or she is up at 4 a.m. and posting such an intellectual post on LinkedIn. She has already started the day. Oh my God. She's thinking big enough. And then after 2 minutes, you will
Yes,
be
Enya,
listening.
are you saying something? What?
So I think that
Yeah, Harsha is seeing the mobile. Okay.
first
Can you?
master in down, Rana, you are about to become a billionaire. Just think of the lines. Just think on the same lines. Now, the next step is conflict. You can just add a little extra to it. I don't mind. Extra confidence works. Even if you have no idea what you are doing and what you are speaking. For example, I have been talking for last 5 minutes and none of you are billionaires yet. After logging with Toastmasters Studio,
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. What are you saying? Oh, okay.
these celebrations. Oh, I can see that a few prime ministers started getting the dress ready even before the elections. So it's okay. You can start planning the celebration. I know that by the end of this speech, you will be one of the billionaires. So I was telling you that I have been talking since past 5 minutes to all of you. And none of you are billionaires yet. But look how confidently, extra confidently, I continue. So now imagine this. Your bank account have 9 zeros. 9 zeros! And your relatives have started messaging you and sending you delizia, chocolate fudge, and the white lilies and sunflowers. But here's the truth. If becoming a billionaire in 5 minutes was rare, I wouldn't be here.
Talha, how was the geek of the week session?
Yes, Mr. Imran.
Oh, sorry.
So
I was just
actually,
asking Talha about the geek of the week session.
oh yes,
Yeah,
you
it was
can ask
fantastic.
him
It was
once
fantastic.
you both become the billionaire and you both have a flight to the moon, you can have a chit chat. So if I have been a billionaire and if I know how to be a billionaire in 5 minutes, I wouldn't be talking to you. I would be on somewhere on Mars or Jupiter, or might be on my private island and ignoring you all, of course. So maybe you won't become a billionaire in 5 minutes, but today you did invest 5 more in something which brought a little smile to your face and add up a little to your mood. and that is our real profit. So don't wait to be a billionaire and enjoy life. You are a billionaire. You can smile, you can laugh, you can sing, you can dance, you can eat whatever you want. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tehseen, for delivering such a wonderful speech, I must say. Okay, so before I give my feedback, let me ask my modular evaluators to share their feedbacks. So let me call upon DT and Talha. Can you do what do we call? Can you give us your feedback, please?
Yes, just give me a second. Let me put up the timer for it, and let me stop this particular timer. Okay, keep it going for now. All right. So, Toastmaster Tahseen, your auditory part was toughest because you were supposed to be constantly interrupted, and you were interrupted, right? And still, I liked the way your voice varied to keep the audience attention, right? And I also like the way you mind losing your voice or going mute in response to my interruption, because that really turned the tables. When I asked, what are you saying, and you were speaking without sound, like that was amazingly done. Uh, but that said, I think that's just my personal opinion. When you're addressing an interruption, perhaps your tone of voice should be slightly different from your routine speech voice. That is just my opinion, because that will really convey to the audience that you're not to be messed around with. If you keep the same happy-go-lucky tone, it almost comes across as being you're also enjoying the interruption, and that might not discourage a real interrupter, right? So that's my only auditory feedback. Over to you, Toastmaster Imran.
Thank you so much. So could we have Toastmaster Noreen feedback about visuals?
Wow, what a great speech delivered by Toastmaster Tehseen. So I have to share the visual part. As far as visual part, I noticed that you were confident throughout the speech. I could see that your body language and facial expressions and eye contact was thoroughly inclined with the content you were sharing. And when you and your hand gestures were aligned with the jargons that we're using, so that were easier for the audience to understand the perspectives that you were trying to share. However, there is one suggestion. At some point during your speech, I noticed that there were too much hand movements. So if you could reduce it, it can reduce the distraction among the audience. And even sometimes little pauses and narrow down in your speech tone could also help you in grabbing the attention, and sometimes more hand movements can distract the audience. This was just my suggestion. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Noreen. For perceptible, could we have Toastmaster Saad evaluate? 1 minute evaluation will be needed.
Yep. So I'm not very familiar with the role, but I will just talk about what my perception, like how I perceived the speech. So I think it was an excellent speech that you have made, and the main thing was I was thinking it's like the topic was obviously very ambitious, and like becoming billionaire in 5 minutes was amazing. And I was trying to the good thing is you did talk about mindset, you did talk about branding, you did talk about being Karachi, and then there was 90. Then I got carried away with 90 and Karachi connection, but anyway, 90s you meant a number, and which was great, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. As despite all those distractions, you managed to deal with the distractions very well. You kept on your focus. You kept on going with the speech, and your focus. You remained focused, and overall, I think it was an excellent speech. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saad, for your feedback. And for language, okay, could we request Toastmaster Najam briefly?
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. This is the first time I've heard Toastmaster Tahseen, and I think her language was quite appropriate for the topic and the speech she made. She had a lot of vocal variety. She emphasized where it was required to be emphasized. She adjusted her tone, and she aligned her non-verbal communication with her language. So overall, the language was, I think, perfect for this speech. Unfortunately, I found, I don't know, for some reason, I couldn't hear her as clearly as I could hear the other speakers. So it might have something to do with the acoustics in your room. So for future, I would suggest looking into that. That's all for me. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Najam. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, today Toastmaster Tahseen Fatma delivered a speech, and it was all about managing the difficult audience. So I won't say much about the speech because my modular evaluators have already mentioned about that. So I'll just talk about how did you manage the disruptors. So that was the main object of your speech. You know, what I really admire about your speech, that you always deliver a speech with great confidence, and that's your strong point, which engage us throughout your speech, and the way you manage to handle the disruptors. Initially, when I played the song, I'm not sure you tried to means whenever someone create a disruption, what you have to do, you have to just uh, put your attention towards that disruptor, and you have to or should I say, shut him or shut her up with positive remarks. So you did that. You did that wonderfully. And since you had your pathway is about engaging humor, so you use some engaging humor elements in your speech, which grab the audience attention throughout your speech. Uh, Unfortunately, maybe the disruptors were quite were not prepared enough to disrupt you throughout your speech. Otherwise, this project is quite interesting. Means you receive constant disruptions and you have to manage that. So overall, you nailed in that. Initially, maybe you were not aware of how those disruptions are coming to disrupt your speech, but in the end, it was quite well. So overall, a wonderful speech delivered with great confidence. You used some humor elements that fulfill the requirements of your project as well, since you are doing the engaging humor project. Uh, a good speech delivered. Maybe sometimes later in future, if you would like to deliver the same speech in physical audience, then and I'm sure you'll definitely uh, uh, love the environment. So kudos to you, and back to you to sponsor of the day.
Thank you very much, the panelists. I had definitely penned down all the pieces of suggestion, especially Sir Najam and everyone around. And I must say that apart from the DBH and Imran Rana, all were just so simple and innocent audience. They didn't cause any trouble. So you are great, lovely people. And TBH and Rana were very naughty audience. So now moving on towards the second prepared speech of the day, which is going to be the fabulous one. So our sweet and very experienced Toastmaster Noreen Fatma will be delivering the speech. Mr. VP, who will be the head, who will be the lead evaluator of her speech?
The lead evaluator is DTM Talha bin Hamid, and he will.
Okay. So, DTM Talha bin Hamid, the stage is yours. Please introduce Toastmaster Noreen Fatma's speech title, and please introduce your panelists as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So today, this is the second project of Toastmaster Noreen's journey, and it is titled "Writing a Speech with a Purpose." And as the name says, it's pretty self-explanatory. You have to write a speech with a purpose. That does not mean that the other speeches should be without purpose, and that's what I always find paradoxical with this project. I mean, what do you mean? All the other speeches are without purpose, but anyhow. It needs to have the typical components of a Toastmaster speech: a beginning, a middle, and an end. It needs to have a connection, it needs to have a theme, it needs to have vocal variety, eye contact, voice modulation, and use of rhetoric devices. The only thing is that the only thing that sets us apart from other speeches is that you have to state your purpose before starting the speech, and that becomes a part of the evaluation. So I would once again like to induct volunteers for the modular evaluation, and I would like to ask if Toastmaster Imran, can you do the visual part of the evaluation?
Yes, the name is written on that. My name is already written there.
Oh, wait. Your name is already written. Okay, yeah.
All you need perceptor and a language evaluator.
All right. So for perceptible, how about we ask someone very perceptive? DTM Cynthia, if you would like to be the perceptive evaluator of the speech.
Absolutely, that'd be great.
Fantastic. So we'll request you to give your feedback for between 1 to 2 minutes over how you perceive the speech or how the speech hit you. And for language, can we ask for the services of Toastmaster Saad, if that's possible?
Yep, sure.
Yeah, so it's actually not just language. So VP Education, make a note. It's structure and language. So you'll need to make a comment on the structure and language, again for between around 1 minute or 1 to 2 minutes. All right?
I'll try.
All right. So everyone, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Noreen Fatma, the power of reading. The power of reading, Toastmaster Noreen Fatma. Can you state the purpose of your speech first?
Fine. Should I start?
Yeah, can you state the purpose of your speech first before starting?
The purpose of my, it's about the topic of my speech title is power of reading. So in the speech, I will try to share the significance of reading by sharing some of the examples from my personal life that can maybe inspire the audience to develop the habit of reading.
Inspiring the audience towards reading. Okay, fine. So once again, everyone put your hands together for Toastmaster Noreen Fatma, the power of reading, the power of reading, Toastmaster Noreen Fatma.
Thank you. Today is a reader, tomorrow a leader. Fellow Toastmasters, I read this quote a few years ago, and I always used to wonder that how reading can make someone a leader. What does it mean? So I started working on it, and once I started working on it, it made my life easier. It transformed me into a better version of myself, transformed me as a better communicator, as a better professional leader, a better human being. That transformed Noreen into a better version of herself. So today, I'm going to share some examples from my personal life that actually transformed me and played a role. And in this transformation, actually, reading played a significant role. So today, I want to share those examples with you. So moving towards the first one from my professional career. Fellow Toastmasters, uh, since I'm working, I have developed a reading habit during in my professional career that I have to read daily some policy papers, op-eds, or some news article related to the subject. Since you know that my subject is related to climate change, I mostly read on climate adaptation, mitigation, and climate financing. So one day, in a meeting, my line manager called me randomly and asked, Nori, could you please share some latest trends in the carbon markets? I once suddenly I was paused and just realized that I read these trends in the morning. So with the pause, I started and took a minute to articulate my thoughts and started sharing my thoughts about the carbon markets, the current trends, the current standards that we are applying, including VERA, golden standards, with proper citation to my line manager. And my line manager was surprised and asked, Noreen, how did you know that? I simply replied that I just read them in the morning. So, fellow Toastmasters, reading can sometimes save you in your professional life as well. Because by reading, what you can do is you make yourself updated about the current trends, and with reading, you can become a subject matter expert in any field of your life and can excel in your professional career. Moving towards the second example, that is towards the leadership example. There are Toastmasters I have led on different leadership positions, not only in my professional career, but also in my volunteer journey in Toastmasters. So I'll share my example as president of Islamabad Toastmasters Club, District 122, Pakistan, in 2018, in 2021, actually. So once my tenure was started, what I did that initially, I developed the annual calendar with the consultation of my all XCOM team. As we all know, that leader is someone who knows the way, knows the way, makes a way, and shows the way to his team. So what I did that it actually helped in achieving the effect, the roadmap, and the strategy of leading his team in a more effective manner. With the consultation, what we did, we jot down all the activities, including education sessions, networking events, contests on time. So with that annual calendar, my team was not overburdened. And they knew all their roles that where they have to play their part. So they started working on it. And with their support, I was able to achieve all my club projects, including the required minimum membership. It improved the quality of the meeting, and also it engaged all the members of the club in different activities. So, fellow Toastmasters, during that journey, which books that kept me going were written by Simon Sinek and Tony Robbins, including that Leaders Eat Last and many others. It actually provided me ways that how I can improve my leadership skills and become an effective leader. So, fellow Toastmasters, reading helps you not only transforming a better version of yourself, it gives you horizon, it improves your perspective. So I urge all of you to develop the habit, inculcate the habit of reading among your children at a very early stage, so that will help them in every sphere of their life and they can transform into a better version of themselves. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening, Miss Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much. Amazing speech. Over to you, TBH, and your panelists.
Thank you so much. So everyone, before anything else, I'm floating the poll for the best speaker. Please vote. It's slightly different from usual best speaker polls. And after that, I'll start my evaluation. So here's the best speaker poll. So now, Toastmaster Tehseen Fatma. Sorry, Toastmaster Noreen Fatma. All right. Uh, Did you guys have to have such similar names? I mean, they're rhyming and they have the same word. Anyhow, so Toastmaster Noreen, welcome back. Welcome back as a Toastmaster. Welcome back as a speaker. You know it that this was your grand re-entry. The icebreaker was testing the waters, and this was intended to be your grand re-entry, and we all felt that. So congratulations on that. You started with a clear purpose that is absolutely useful and aligned with the purpose of this club. You had a good and confident start. This is something different from your past speeches that I've seen. Your body language, your voice, everything was quite emphatic and quite powerful. You had a confident posture and your movements, you managed to move meaningfully even within the frame, the limited frame of the camera. Your voice was very emphatic. It sounded confident, very assertive, and you gave a great example of how reading helps you in real life. And if I were to summarize that example, I would just say that, being something of a reader allows you to make up anything on the spot, even if you're lost. So, and that making up something is not meaningless, by the way. It holds value. So, congratulations on that. A few improvement areas. First, your tone was very much attention grabbing, but your start was disappointingly conventional. You could have started with something like, have you found yourself lost for words, or something like that, and then you could have driven it towards that, what's the one thing that can help you in such a situation. When we think about such situations, we think about, Toastmasters allows you to speak on the spot, but no, the words are not coming from Toastmasters. The words are coming from your reading. The meaning is coming from your reading. And that's something I just realized while listening to you, that Toastmaster does not advocate speaking meaninglessly. Toastmaster advocates speaking meaningfully, and the meaning comes from your reading, from your knowledge. Something that I have a pet peeve against, something that I'm allergic to. Today, I'm going to share this. You spend about a minute explaining what were you going to say. There was no need for that. We were already listening to you. We had already listened to your purpose of the speech. So there was no need for you to repeat it during the speech and waste valuable time. And finally, in your voice modulation, it was there. First of all, your voice was confident, audible, and that's something that many of us suffer from, including myself. The cadence is like this: high, low, high, low. So ultimately, yes, there is a cycle, there is variation, but it becomes slightly monotonous. So there should be some sort of calibration where towards the end of the speech, you add more drama, more gravitas, more emotion to mark it out clearly from the rest of the speech. But overall, purpose of the speech superbly achieved. And now I move to our panel evaluator. Our first panel evaluator is our uh, yeah, auditory evaluator, and that is Toastmaster Tehseen. So over to you, Toastmaster Tehseen. Is it Toastmaster Imran? Can you help? Was it you?
No, I think it wasn't me. I was not in your panelist.
No, actually,
Your name is written in the agenda, so you are already there.
so you just have to comment on the auditory aspect for 1 minute.
Or maybe you can go after me if you want.
That's fine. I listened to her very closely. So, Toastmaster Noreen Fatma, it was a wonderfully delivered speech. You were clear throughout. Your voice was very clear. Your words were very impactful and clear. I loved the way you carry forward and the structure of your speech. In terms of the auditory, while we stand, it is at times really hard to maintain that tone, but you did that, and your every word was touching our hearts. So it was a wonderful job done. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Now we move on to our visual evaluator, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Karma. So, Toastmaster Noreen, you delivered a speech with confidence. Okay, if I talk about your visuals, your head was just cutting, so you need to be in the frame. The camera direction was something like it's curved, so you were standing towards your right the most of the time. Maybe if you could before starting the speech, you could have checked the visuals of your speech by asking if you are perfectly visible, if your hand gestures or the whole half body means can anyone see that. So maybe before delivering the speech in the virtual environment, you may ask about that. Overall, your hand gestures were perfectly aligned with the speech. Your vocal variety was good. So just this was the area of improvement which you need to work upon.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran. The comment on vocal variety was redundant and unneeded because you were the visual evaluator. Anyhow, moving on to DT and Cynthia's thought. Madam Cynthia, how did you perceive the speech?
I proceeded. That was just very impactful, and I'm a bit of a TEDx expert, and boy, that sounded like the beginning of a TED talk to me. And I was really impacted by your sentence, your concept from reader to leader. And I think that should be the title of your speech, especially if it's a TED talk. That is your idea worth spreading. So powerful. Keep going. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, DT and Cynthia. And yes, uh, Leaders Worldwide, the club that we share, DT and Cynthia is the founder of that, and I happen and honored to be a member of that. It indeed does have a multiple time TED Talk speaker, Toastmaster Rosalind Khan, DT and Rosalind Khan, and that means that that is indeed a huge compliment coming from DT and Cynthia. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Noreen, take note. And now moving on to Toastmaster Saad for the language and structure. So over to you, Toastmaster Saad.
Thank you, DTM Tala. In terms of language and structure, for structure, you know how we say what we are going to say, and then we say it, and then we conclude, basically summarize it all. And I found that structure perfectly applied. Although, like, there was a purpose, and then there was small repetition in the beginning, but overall, I think after the purpose, two solid examples from real life, like basically real life examples, they were great. And just with the second example, the example was about development of calendar, and I was thinking, where is the reading here? But towards the end of that example, you did mention that where you read from this book or article. So it was great, and language was great. I think throughout the speech was delivered very well. That's yep. That would be my comments. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saad. And you never cease to amaze me personally by the level of attention you give to everything. Thank you so much for that. Uh, Thank you for your and of course the way you speak, like it sounds like music, it sounds like poetry. So you have that strength, and please resume your speeches. All right. So with that, we come to the conclusion of the prepared speeches session. Everyone, please vote for your favorite speaker, and after that, please vote for your favorite lead evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Wonderful segment, and what a great speeches develop. And I will second Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid's opinion about Mr. Saad. I have heard him for the first time, and you sound like a professional visual artist, sound artist, and your word delivery is very beautiful. So I definitely look forward to hear some speeches from you in the coming sessions. So moving on to the second and the very interesting segment of the day, which is the impromptu speeches, and it will be led by our senior Toastmaster Najam Rizvi. Sir, the stage is yours, and I would like to introduce the format to you that you will assign one topic to anyone who may volunteer, or you may choose yourself, and that person will be evaluated by the second person, and then the second one will be the will deliver the speech as per your speech title. So this is how it will go on. The stage is yours, Toastmaster Najam Rizvi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tasin. We'll be alternating between speakers and evaluators. Is that right? Okay, fine, fine. For the first speech, I would call upon Toastmaster Imran Rana. Tell us about your most memorable ad from childhood, and why has it stuck to your mind? The most memorable ad from your childhood. I know you're not too old, but I think you still maybe recall something.
The most memorable, what? Memorable?
Memorable ad from your childhood.
Ad, any advertisement. And I would like any volunteer or Sir Najam, you may choose yourself, who will be evaluating his speech and delivering the second. Any volunteers or Sir Najam, you may choose yourself.
I think when Toastmaster Najam is assigning the next speaker, he can assign evaluator. Yeah.
Perfect. The stage is yours, Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Okay, so thank you so much, Toastmaster Najam. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, you remember my speech, The Moonwalk? No. Okay, so it was based on a true story. Remember, in old days, we used to have a wedding, and people start coming way before the wedding starts. And since it was my cousin's wedding, uh, and we all were living in Karachi, and most of the family were relatives were coming from Punjab. Uh, People used to call me that you have a very good voice, and there was another thing. You can say that I really like or really love to dance, not in front of the audience, but privately at any place. So it was my auntie's house, and there was a music was loud. I got a place behind the curtains. I started dancing, and and I was dancing, and my elder brother caught me red-handed. And you know what? He told everyone, and then everybody made fun of me, and uh, they made fun of it, and they teased me, and they make jokes around it, and because of that act, my auntie whenever there was a wedding ceremony, so they asked me to dance in front of the audience. So that was the act which I guess entertained everyone, and it got stuck in my mind as well. So over to you, Toastmaster Najam.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. Okay, can we request Toastmaster Tehseen Fatma to evaluate that speech?
Sure. So, Toastmaster Imran Rana, you shared a great memory and you made us all laugh. And the best thing about your speech was it was so original and coming straight from the heart that it impacted everyone and it touched our hearts. The vocal variety was not much there, but it was fluent, it was natural, and it was a great impromptu speech. I would like you to try some vocal variety next time in your speech because I know that you are a great, fabulous speaker. Over to you, Sir Najam Rizvi.
Thank you. I'll move on to our next speaker, Toastmaster TBH.
Actually, sir, as per the format, actually, Toastmaster Tehseen now gets to speak,
Okay,
and
Toastmaster
then,
Tehseen.
yeah.
Okay. What is the worst TV ad you have ever seen? What is the worst TV ad you have ever seen?
In my childhood, there were not very much variety of TV channels. Only two, three were there. PTV, NTM, STN kind of. And there was not huge variety of advertisements as well. So the one ad which I still remember, I was relatively very young when I saw it for the first time, and it was like it was for a mouth refresher, Nas Pan Masala, and it was like I will translate the jingle in the English so everyone can understand it. It was like, "Tell me what is in my fist. It is closed in my fist." And I was like, "What? What? How?" And it was such a famous advertisement, and we used to listen and watch it every day, multiple times on every station. There were only two, three stations, and a girl was asking with her friend, "Tell me what is in my fist," and the guy was like, "Nas pan masala, nas pan masala," and I still don't understand what was the logic, what the creative agency has thought about it, what the brand wanted to create the analogy. So it was the worst advertisement I still remember. Yes, to the in this era there is a series of worst advertisements, and I think that the creative agencies have stopped thinking. Although I do belong from one, but that was the worst one I still remember. Over to you, Sarnaja.
Thank you. Can we request Toastmaster Faz Jaswal to evaluate that speech? I see the name in the participants. Is he here? Toastmaster Faz?
Yes, I'm here. Let's try to evaluate. Uh, I mean, the way she went back to her childhood era and told us about her worst ad. It was quite fascinating, and her tonality was great, and the way she related the details of that ad was quite, I would like to applaud her good memory. I mean, the childhood things, the childhood era memories are, you know, they're not that easy to, remove from the our memory card. So, I mean, it was a great speech. Her tonality was great, her eye contact was great, and she used also her hand gestures to, uh, you know, make things comprehensible for us. And overall, these things which matter in public speaking, these boxes were tick. So it was a great speech. Not a speech, it's a improv conversation. it was a great improv conversation. Thanks.
Thank you. The topic for you is most interesting book that you've ever read. The most interesting book that you've ever read.
Okay. The most interesting book I've ever read. I mean, that book.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So the most interesting book I've ever read right after my A levels, I was free, and I was having the time of my life, the free time of my life, and I was taking a gap year at that time, and I was all free to read that book, and the book was called Castro Orchestra by Naseem Majazi, and the way the book proceeds, the building of a character, and the way his heartbreaks and his victories and his tough environment shapes the character, that was extremely fascinating. And that's the book which inspires me to be uh, get over life. And the thing is that bad things happen, but you have to get over it, and at the end of the day you do get to enjoy a good part of the life as well if you endure during that worst period. So the way that simple boy, the protagonist was awesome, and that protagonist turned into a great general, and the way he consolidated between Persian and Roman Empire, that was quite fascinating. And a person of high caliber can do that. So that fascinates me. That's the best book I've ever read, with a hookful story, which kept my interest throughout the storyline, and that was the best book I've ever read. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now I'll request Toastmaster Saad, please evaluate that speech from Fez.
Yep. I think Toastmasters Fez did a really great speech. I mean, the main thing is he did talk about the book, that it had the hook, so that the and engaging, so that he kept on reading. The other thing is he did mention that it did change perspective, and the main thing is when we read something, and if it can change perspective or give us a lesson that we can apply in our lives, I think that's the best use of it. And I think it was a very genuine, true story that he just narrated to us.
Thank you. Now your topic is, do you think that we should ban advertising of sugary drinks since we know they're bad for our health?
There are two ways. We can, one way of looking at it is banning it completely, or the other thing is you still do advertisement, but the advertisement is to discourage people taking, drinking the sugary drink. Especially like where I live, there's a lot of emphasis on eating healthy. So in schools, on TV, on YouTube, everywhere there's a lot of money being spent to educate people to not eat processed food, not to take cold drinks, especially for kids. So I mean, the companies which are selling the sugary drinks, they will advertise, but at the same time, I think the government can step in and educate the people. So I won't say it should be banned, but whatever the negative effect is, that can be countered through education. Thank you.
Thank you. I like that you took a clear stance. You said, you expressed yourself so well. I'll next request Toastmaster Talal bin Hamid. Tell us when you
Actually,
evaluate.
sir, sorry. Once again, can we have Toastmaster Kumar Tarachand next, and then perhaps you can come to me because he's been waiting, kind of waiting to get his turn.
Toastmaster Kumar
Yeah.
Tarachand,
Yes.
please evaluate Toastmaster Saad's speech. You are muted right now. Please turn on your mic.
Can you unmute him, Santana?
You are muted.
Kanan,
Okay, now. Okay, now you're muted again. Oh, you're muted again. Please unmute yourself.
okay.
Yeah, now
Am I
it's okay.
audible? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay, what is it all about? I just came in.
Okay,
Toastmaster
I'm
Talal,
not following.
Kumar, you have to evaluate the Toastmaster Sa's speech for a minute, and then Toastmaster Najam will going to give you the topic, and then you have to speak for about 1 to 2 minutes, right?
Okay.
First, you
What
have
is
to
project? What is a project? Objects.
No, it's not a project, it's a table topic. We just make it a
Okay.
little different.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so for receiving a topic, you need to evaluate the speaker first. Toastmaster Sa just
Okay.
delivered the speech. You have to evaluate him for 1 minute.
Oh, I have not heard the speech. I missed it.
Okay, no
then
Can I?
what we'll do is we can give you a topic and then we'll have someone else evaluate Toastmaster Saad.
Can
Is that okay? Okay, the
can
topic. Which TV ad did you enjoy most watching? Which TV advertisement did you enjoy most watching?
Thank you very much for your information. Talking of TV, I have 2 TVs at home, but I got no time to on and off it, and I do not know how to on and off it at all. The TV is solely by my family. I'm always in the room with my headphone. So talking of advertisement on a TV, I wouldn't know anything about it. Nevertheless, if you talk of advertisement on a handphone, I have 1 or 2 which I like, especially the one which talks about food health, our health. The advertisement talks about our health, followed by a doctor's talk. I love it. Thank you very much.
You, Toastmaster Talal, can you please
Yes, sir.
evaluate both speeches? The speech
All
of
right.
Saad and Toastmaster
All right.
Talal.
Hello.
Sure, sir.
I can't get you. What are you saying?
I'm speaking to Toastmaster Talal. He's going to evaluate.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, evaluating Toastmaster Saad's speech, again delivered in a very sonorous musical voice. I mean, once you start speaking, who even cares what you sing? But anyhow, I'll try to evaluate. Uh, I think you handle the topic with your usual smartness, and let me tell everyone what that smartness is. Since Toastmaster Saad speaks at a very measured pace, he has more time to think, right? And he can address the topic very well. And I think that he added a welcome bit of humor and also a bit of self reflection in his topic. But the only improvement area that I would say would be that he ended a little bit abruptly, but other than that, I think he spoke well. And Toastmaster Kumar Tarachan, he started by subverting expectations by saying that And you know, I absolutely enjoyed it. You said that you have two TVs at home, and we were ready to hear that. Okay, then you might be someone who's very fond of watching TV. But then you flipped the script and told us that you don't watch any of those TVs that's in possession of your family, and that's a story for all of us, by the way. We have to smash the remote from our family members, especially the kids. So you pulled that off, and you spoke very well. Being an experienced Toastmaster, you showed that when even if the topic is not relevant to you, you can speak. My only improvement area would be that you could have spoken a little more about the visual media that you enjoy, other than TV, maybe movies or books or something like that, so that we could have heard a little more of you. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Kumar, and over to you, Toastmaster Neville.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tala, for your evaluations. Our topic for you is something which might be useful for the audience. Please share some tips on building a personal brand. Please share some tips on building a personal brand.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Najim. How do I even start? Because you should have asked someone who had successfully built a personal brand. So all I can now speak about is how I have seen others building their personal brand, and report some of the findings from that process. So I've seen plenty of personal brand building, and I've found a few common threads. The first common thread is the focus is solely on visibility across social media. When you see people's Facebook profiles, when you see their LinkedIn profiles, and when you see the things that they're doing, very few people actually have built a personal brand by being thoughtful and deliberate and really bringing something valuable to the world. Simon Sinek would be one of them, right? Whatever he writes, wherever he writes, it's very meaningful, deeply relatable. But anyone else, so many people who just are fond of putting up pictures, right? And I think that's one key to building a personal brand. In this day and age, you should have as many followers as possible, so that they can build your personal brand for you. And it also depends upon the kind of personal brand that you want. Whether you want to be known as a thinking person. If that is the case, then unfortunately your following will be lower than what you might aspire to. If you want to be known as a famous person, someone's famous for being well known, Kim Kardashian, right? Or so many celebrities on LinkedIn that you see these days. Of course, you can become that. You can even buy your following. You can employ PR agencies. Toastmaster Tessin would know a lot about that. But again, then what will be your brand? And what do you want people to think? If you just want people to know you, you are well on your way. But if you want people to actually use your findings to add to their life, that is a much harder battle. Over to you, Tabletop Master.
I would request Toastmaster Najam to evaluate the speech of Talha bin Hamid and end this beautiful segment.
Okay. Thank you. I'll try to evaluate Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. By the way, today he forgot to remind everybody that I was his mentor, I think, at one time. But as so happens, the student often outshines his mentors, his teachers, and that's exactly what TBH has done. So in a way, TBH is a brand in at least Karachi Toastmasters, or at least in Toastmasters community in Pakistan. And now he's gone international also. I see that he joins a lot of meetings in other clubs outside Pakistan as well. He's been really a great asset to Toastmasters in Pakistan. So that's why I asked him that question, how he manages this. But I think at the end of the day, it's honest work and dedication that builds your brand. And that's exactly what he does. And that's what he preaches and what he practices. So I think he tried to be modest by not speaking about that, but was obviously all his speeches are very meaningful. This speech was also meaningful and uh, full of content that we could, resonates with the audience. So it was a great speech. And with that, I think I'll conclude my session and hand back the rostrum to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Wonderfully lead the segment Toastmaster Najam Rizvi. Many congratulations. Please keep coming to our meetings. Please keep showing us how great Toastmasters are. And it is very nice to know that you are the mentor of the person who is the mentor of many. Yes, TBS, you want to add anything?
Yes, I just want to first of all acknowledge and thank my mentor, Toastmaster Najam Rizvi. There is nowhere where a mentee can exceed a mentor because the mentor always comes first. Secondly, I've been floating a poll for best table topic speaker since, mashallah, there were many speakers and we are not that many in number. I would request everyone to vote for at least two of your favorite speakers so that we can have a result. Over to you, Madam TMO.
Great. Thank you, sir. Najam, again, once again, because you were given the table topic master charge in during the meeting and you came up with brilliant topics. Thank you, sir. So without wasting a single second, I would like to hand over the stage to the journal evaluator of the day, who is our VP Education of the club, and he will conclude the meeting with his presidential address as well. So the stage is yours, Mr. VPE Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Now we are in the last segment of the meeting. So before giving my feedback about the meeting, I would request Toastmaster Noreen Fatma to present her report as language evaluator and word master.
I hope I'm audible and visible. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Journal Evaluator. Now I'm going to share my report as word master and language evaluator. As far as the word of the day, I noticed only, I think it was used twice and it was used by Toastmaster Tessie. Nobody else used it during their speeches. I request all the people to try to use them whenever word of the day is introduced. So we need to use it in the meeting so that it can become part of our vocabulary. And moving toward the language, as I think all speakers did wonderful job. I didn't find any major correction in the grammar. There are some mistakes by our speakers. But I just want, it would be like a quiz. I'll share the phrase and I will request all of you to guess and share that. So moving towards the first one, someone use cinematic shots. Who use cinematic
Sorry, can you come again?
cinematic shots?
Actually, your voice is dropping a bit, Toastmaster Nori. Yeah.
I hope cinematic shots, or we can say the force behind the club. I hope I'm.
Yes, you're audible now. Yeah.
Are you taking our listening test?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm taking.
Yes.
So I. Who used? How did we get water at first place?
You are still not audible.
I think there is. Or moving towards the next, there is no water coming. We are natural resources. Who said
Oh, sorry. Gun back up.
I think I'm not audible.
You're not audible. You keep your something's wrong with your microphone or your bandwidth.
Yes, I think there is technical.
Bandwidth seems to be fine since we can see her perfectly, but maybe perhaps try changing the microphone or removing whatever you're using.
I'm
Or,
using computer. I hope
or
I'm
may-
audible now.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Stay right where you are and speak. Yeah, please don't
Yeah,
move.
Okay,
Yeah,
I think
okay,
when your head moves, we can't hear you. You
exactly.
have
okay,
to speak
okay.
directly into your microphone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are liquidating our all natural resources. Who said this?
Talha bin Hamid.
TBH.
Yes, yes, TBH. Stop using water as a luxury and start using it as a depleting resource.
So also
Again,
Yours,
TBH.
Noreen, Toastmaster Noreen.
Not audible?
No, no,
No,
You're
you are
audible.
audible.
no. Okay, okay. I thought yes. Toastmaster Tehseen.
I thought you said it.
No, no.
Talha said it.
Talha said it. Said it. So words. My brother caught me red-handed.
Imran.
Imran
And
Rana.
Nana.
A hopeful story.
That was
Files.
uh, Pies. Yeah.
That's all from my end. Thank you.
You
Thank
have
you
2 minutes, Khalid.
thank you so much,
Khalid,
Toastmaster. Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster Noreen, for your report. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, today I remember a movie. I hope everyone watched that movie, Finding Nemo. There was a character called Dory, and it always said, "Just keep swimming, just keep swimming." We started with 4, and we are now ended up with 9 participants. Initially, it was looked like that meeting with only 4 participants, but by the grace of Allah, we had a wonderful meeting. We had all the segments. Initially, we were struggling to find the role players, but eventually, we had we we performed every role in the meeting. So there were few glitches in the meeting, and I thought we would ended the meeting well before the time. Now it's 4:12, so we are quite late. Maybe we make sure about that in the next meeting. And we see some good faces like Cynthia Stott. Welcome back. And Toastmaster Saad, I've seen you for the first time, and you simply inspired me a lot. So I would appreciate if you attend the meetings regularly. That would be wonderful. Good to see Toastmaster Najam back after a very long time. Toastmaster Najam, we would love you to have you in our meetings, in every meeting of Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club, and we may assign you Toastmaster of the role as well. So no need to worry about that. Okay, so good. We have good, wonderful speeches and a very valuable keynote speech by DTM Talha bin Hamid. And I would like to thank to my son who just made up his mind to deliver a geek of the week. So kudos on that. So I request every member if we can have the agenda filled before the meeting, that would be wonderful. Because when we have more participants, then we really enjoy a lot and we learn a lot. So with that, I would like to conclude the general evaluation segment. And as a president, I would request if the results are, as an acting president, if I can request Jitin Talha, could you please share the results of today's meeting?
All right, sure. So best speaker is won by a very narrow margin by Toastmaster Tehseen Fatma, and Ironically, these two ladies ended up tying each other at the last KTC meeting. So today it was a tie for the longest time until one vote came in, and yes, Toastmaster Tessie, congratulations. Uh, Best evaluator goes to myself. Okay. Best table topic speaker goes to Toastmaster Faiz Jaswal. Congratulations. Toastmaster Faiz, are you a Toastmaster or a guest?
It seems
I
he
am a
sounds.
guest speaker and kindly ignore the grass rolling sound from my neighbor's garden. So basically, I'm a guest and I joined a meeting an hour earlier. So it's been
All
a great
right.
experience.
Thank you, guest Faiz. And the message to you is that stop being a guest and be a Toastmaster because you spoke so well and you also evaluated so well. So congratulations on your victory. And for the best Big Four, I would actually present a resolution before the club that, in fact, can be awarded to Toastmaster Nadam Rizvi without voting because he did a phenomenal job as table topics master.
Only if he becomes
In
the
absence of
Toastmaster of
no,
the
no,
day next
in
week.
absence of any votes to the contrary from the members, one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, it's a unanimous vote. So yes, congratulations, Toastmaster Najim. You are the best Big Four.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Good to have you. Could we have your brief comments, please?
And also, how are you awake at 4 a.m. your time?
I sleep very early, and then I woke and I saw your message, and I thought, okay,
Wow.
I'm gonna come on
Wow.
because I love to come on. And I will say, Tala, you said a lie. You said that you do not have a personal brand, and you absolutely do. Whenever I think about you or see you, I always think servant leader. And your motto of being leading is not about it's not about leading, it's about serving. And you not only walk the talk, you walk the walk. And it's always. And your fingerprint was all is as always all over Quantum Leap's amazing meetings. And I really like the way you did the table topics. I don't usually like table topic evaluators. I don't I because it's not a prepared speech, but this way I really loved it because you became the evaluator first, and then you came became the speaker. So you tend to evaluate better when you're thinking you're going to become the speaker. So
Great.
wonderful. I'm glad I could join. I wish I could join all the time, but it is
Please.
4:17 a.m. for me.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. And you know, this is historic because this is the second time Quantum Leap has changed DTM Cynthia's mind. First, Quantum Leap changed Cynthia's mind about panel evaluations, advanced evaluations, because what those DTM Cynthia had witnessed earlier was that the advanced evaluations used to be nasty and destructive and very inappropriate. And today, the second time, DTM Cynthia has changed her mind about table topics evaluation, thanks to all of you wonderful folks at Quantum Leap. So, thank you so much.
It's
Thank
always
you.
a quantum leap from my mind when I visit.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, DTM Cynthia. Could we have brief comments from your name is Faiz or Faz? Please correct us.
It's Faiz.
Faiz. So could we have your brief comments about the meeting?
Today's meeting has been a great meeting in terms of the way you guys have conducted these things, those sessions, table topic, and the prepared speeches and the evaluation sessions, and the way you guys are, authentic and precise about the evaluation. That was, quite fascinating, and it is very important for the environment to create an environment to learn and to improve yourself, improve your public speaking. So I quite enjoyed this meeting in that regard. So it's been a great meeting.
So thank you so much, Faiz. We would love to see you in our next meeting. If you could share your contact details on chat with DT and Talha, so that we can send you the meeting invites, or maybe we can add you to our guest group as well. So with that, Toastmaster Najam, your last few comments about the meeting, and then you will have to be the Toastmaster of the day in the next meeting.
Well, I enjoyed meeting quite. I mean, this is probably second or third time that I attended this meeting. The quality of the speeches is quite impressive. The global audience that we had today, that added to the quality of the meeting itself also. And I really do wish that we had more regular members of this club. I think that some of the guests would encourage them to really join the club and be more regular. Maybe the time doesn't, we're not in the right time zone, but if you can make it happen, I mean, that would be great. I don't know what time it is in Australia. We heard what the time is in California. So I think Australia would be okay. Is that, am I
It's
right?
9:20 p.m. at the
9
moment.
p.m. So that's okay. So and to encourage more people from Pakistan to join this club. So inshallah, let's see. I'll be joining the meeting again, inshallah, whenever possible. Okay. So with that, I please hand back to you.
Thank you so much. So sincerely appreciated to each one of you for being part of this wonderful meeting and wonderful learning. So hope to see you in the next meeting. Bye for now.
Thank you so much, and special thanks to Toastmaster Kumar for your wonderful contribution. Your table topics are always effortless, and we should all learn from that. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you everyone. Love this, and see you all, and not all of you only, but others who are missing too.